Greetings. Long live King Balin.
I see our faith in you was justified, Warden.
It will be done. As you say. Of course. As you say.
Please be quiet. My patient needs a rest. Fools and their politics. The poison was probably imported as a king killer, and she got dosed by mistake. I've never seen anything this potent. Warden, I don't know. Maybe you've seen something like this on the surface. Maybe you've used something like it. If you can chase these things down, I'll thank you, but I won't get my hopes up. The stone will take her soon.
It will be done.
So, I was thinking, we've come to know each other fairly well during our time in the Deep Roads. You're bloody fearsome for an elf, and I'm a warrior without a house to defend. Wandering about killing darkspawn with a sodding Grey Warden sounds like just the thing to keep me occupied. So what do you say? More than that. It'll cost me my house to take a trip like this. But I don't have a bleeding house to begin with, so who cares? I'm better off up there with you than down here where the sodding children laugh at me. What good would I? You got so many allies you couldn't use one more? And one with 1,000 shattered darkspawn skulls to his name? And glad I am to hear it. You won't regret it. Now, do any of these sad sacks following you around know the first thing about making ale? Never mind. You can stop with the glaring. I'll ask him myself.
The throne restored and legends put to rest. Incredible. If I'd heard it secondhand, I'd have called it a sodding lie. Warden, we've got a king because of you. The rest, impressive, but the Legion is grateful most for restored leadership. It frees us to fight to the Darkspawn properly. You'll have us too, indirectly. Our place is here. But when you break the Blight, we'll make sure the Darkspawn have a fine welcome home. It's more guaranteed than any servicer's had. You alone have the skill to back up your words. Each of the Legion owes our homeland a death, but if our lives are better shed on the surface, so be it. Back to Orzammar when we win, though. I'll not stay topside to lose my stone sense.
Thunder
Kitchen crap.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
I am yours to command.
She'll be up and around in no time, thanks to you.
I started to worry. I didn't know if you were ever coming back. Did you find any records? Any sign of the old Orton Tig? You found them? Let me see. That's my great-grandmother's name. And her husband! Oh, great ancestors, it's them! It's me! I am an Orton. Oh, thank you. I have to take these to the assembly right away. Find me there. Once these are acknowledged, I'll give you any reward.
Most impressive, Warden. King Balin's ascent to his father's throne has been recorded in the memories. Is there something more I can help you with? Your presence has been recorded in the memories. I wish you well.
As you say. It will be done.
Are you looking for records of the Grey Wardens? We have many.
Perhaps you should stand over there instead. I'm quite busy. Please do not disturb me.
Are you with that warrior girl who's always here? Are you with that warrior girl who's always here?
I'm sorry, you'll have to bother someone else with your questions.
Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shapered. What have we been reduced to? I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine! He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value. Disgusting. Someone stole from the Shapered. The memories have never seen such a thing. Yes, that's the attitude of many. There's no respect anymore. No responsibility.
My name's Orta. After the old Orton house. They gave our seat back. And the records show which houses still owe House Orton money. One day, I will be able to properly thank you for all you've done for me. And I don't know what treasure is left, but whatever I get, you can have as much as you want. I'll have to find someone willing to look. Maybe a whole expedition. If the tide is still there, it must have something. House Orton will not forget this kindness. Didn't that sound official? They're opening rooms for us on the old Orton estate. Because of you, my family's dreams came true.
Traitor.
This is terrible. Endrin did not want this. Balin threatened to kill my sons if I don't support him. Balin threatened to kill my sons if I don't support him.
The Assembly is in recess until King Balin can address them.
News of the hour. Lord Balin victorious. Lord Harrowmont arrested and ridiculed in the streets. Sorry, can't talk. The Crier's work is never done.
So I hear we have you to thank for putting a new Idukan on the throne. How is the surface managing without you?
I would not have voted for Balin, but I trust my mother's judgment. He may be just what Orzammar needs in these modern times.
I need to set an audience with the new king. He'll understand that my bad knees exempt me from fighting, right?
King Balin promised me a role among his advisors.
Very well.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. Now I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter. No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down. Gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say. Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
The Assembly paid you great honor, Warden.
Watch your steps, officer. These passages aren't the smooth roads you're used to.
If Balin becomes king, he'll have us push forward. Do you think we might retake some ground?
Long live King Balin!
It will be done.
You do not approve of me, do you? You have to ask. I didn't realize I was being subtle. Ah, the old cat still has her claws, I see. And you also do not approve of my involvement with our stalwart Grey Warden. You are dangerous, Morrigan. Dangerous, cunning, and thoroughly deceitful. But you are beautiful, and he is young. It's a pity he doesn't know any better. Why, Wynne, I do believe that is the first time you have ever offered a compliment. Thank you. Only you would take that as a compliment. Listen, old woman. What happens between myself and him is not your concern. You can approve or not approve as you wish, but this is one thing you cannot influence and mold to your liking.
So you say. I do hope that one day soon you will discover that neither is he.
You mistake my intent, old cat, and you are a fool.
Am I? Well, let's hope so.
Is it true all the wardens are dead?
Of course.
You've returned. With all the excitement over the new king, I never expected you to remember my poor son. Did you learn anything about my ruck? Oh, my poor boy. I guess I knew, but I just wish I could have seen him one last time. Here, this is my husband's masterwork, the first shield he smithed. I don't have anyone to save it for anymore. I'd like you to have it, for what you risked to bring me this news. Ancestors, cherish my boy's spirit.
Balin has corrupted the Warden! End this for Harrowmont!
Now we get our answer!
I see right through that Balin. He's up to no good, I say.
Go on, I'm out of the nug game. Got nothing to sell. Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found.
You look like you're not from around here. Oh, wonderful! I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? Oh, my lady, it's an honor. I've never met an actual mage. Is it true you can manipulate nature's forces with your mind? Like you were born with lyrium in your veins?
Don't let the glamour fool you, child. Wielding magic is a dangerous occupation, and a great responsibility.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study. No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caitlin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them. I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child? Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop. You're back? But it takes 2 weeks and 4 days minimum to make the journey to the Circle Tower.
I don't even know that. That's quite impressive.
And just a little disturbing. Why do I get the feeling charting routes to the Circle Tower is one of her favorite hobbies?
I'm guessing you haven't left yet. Here in Orzammar, we're surrounded by stone and tradition and more stone. Nothing ever changes. But to break every natural law by thinking about it, to dream and walk in a realm where everything you think comes true, I can't imagine anything more wonderful. I'll be waiting.
You again. Here to buy something, or were you just thinking of wrecking another part of my shop? Has she been bothering you? Gets a whiff of surface stink and she's like a cave tick. Won't let go. Do you even know what that means? If Dagna goes to the surface, she forfeits her caste. that you'll never be able to marry or work in Orzammar again. Dwarves don't do magic. Dagna knows that. It's just a childhood fantasy that dies hard. Please, if you see her, send her back and let me talk some sense into her.
You have a barbed tongue, Morrigan. Why do you treat others in this way?
I owe you no explanation. There is no writing on my forehead that says, "Please, guide me."
You are traveling with these people. It behooves you to be civil.
You were too transparent, old woman. Do not bring up our companions when all you wish is for me to be civil to you. I am not one of your circle apprentices, to hang on your every word. I am not Alistair, who sees in you a surrogate mother.
No, it is obvious you are nothing like Alistair.
Take your lectures elsewhere. They mean nothing to me.
As you say.
Did you speak often with Kaelin?
You're asking me if I have a relationship with my brother, aren't you?
Yes. I wonder what he thought of you.
I don't think he cared much about my existence. I didn't mean anything to him. Anyway, to answer your original question, no. We never spoke. Well, maybe once. Marek and Kaelin had come to Redcliffe to visit the Arl. I was very young then. We were introduced. I believe I said, "Greetings, Your Highness." He said, "Ooh, swords," and ran off to the armory. So, yes, that was the extent of our relationship. We drifted apart after that. Very sad.
Long live King Balin!
We have leadership again. Thank you, Warden. You are a friend to the Stone.
Long live King Balin! Long live King Balin!
Fair journeys, Warden.
Hail to the Grey Warden! Long live King Balin! Hail to the Grey Warden! Long live King Balin!
They lost a lot of money with that gate shut. This will sting for years. They lost a lot of money with that gate shut. This will sting for years. They lost a lot of money with that gate shut. This will sting for years. They lost a lot of money with that gate shut. This will sting for years.
They've opened the gates. We're free to go in again. Thank the ancestors. We have a king. The guard just announced trade may resume.
I almost gave up, but where was I going to go?
Who is it? Who's our new king?
They don't know how close they came to losing their food lifeline. I'll have carts here by the week. Good times ahead. Heard a warden straightened them out. Don't care, as long as the gate is open.
Should we be... Wait, someone's listening. You sure? I'm nervous as a cat in a kennel. We're asking for trouble. Quiet. We haven't done anything. Yet. Another victory for the Regent at Larkus Valley, so everyone is saying. That just about settles it then, doesn't it? The Queen will have the banner on all lined up soon. How should I know? I'm no high and mighty lord sitting in the Landsmeet, am I?
About time they opened the markets. There's money to make.
We have a king. The gold will flow again. All is well if trade is open. I'll take business over a caste I've never known any day. Best of luck to you.
They almost argued themselves into starvation. Stubborn fools.
Took them long enough to reach a sodding decision.
Trade has to flow. The city dies without it.
At last, they've picked a king. Everything's back to normal.
They almost argued themselves into starvation. Stubborn fools.
Took them long enough to reach a sodding decision.
Sire, I have more news. Yes. Well, it seems that the fighting has gone exactly as you...
I would like to know what you intend to accomplish, Father. Should we not be fighting the Darkspawn instead of each other?
The nobility should be brought into line and then the Darkspawn defeated. This is no true blight, Honora. Only Kaelin's vanity demanded it be so.
Beg pardon, sire. But blight or no, we may not have the manpower to face the Darkspawn soon.
Kaelin approached your legions for support, did he not?
Never! Marek and I drove those bastards out! Not roll out the welcome for them now!
We need help, Father. We cannot deal with this crisis alone.
Ferelden will stand on its own! I will lead it through this, Honora. You must have faith in me.
Did you kill Kaelin?
Kaelin's death was his own doing.
Welcome back, friend. You'll be glad to learn that the Circle is well on its way to recovery. Orzammar, indeed. You have piqued my curiosity. It is common knowledge that dwarves lack the aptitude for spellcraft. She will never be able to weave the simplest magic, no matter how hard she tries. Fascinating. I suppose the Circle should be flattered. I see. If she is willing to sacrifice so much for this, then we should feel honored. Tell Dagna of Orzammar that this path will not be easy. But if she chooses it, then she is welcome here at the Circle. She will live and study with the Tranquil, and perhaps the apprentices, when it is appropriate. If only the Circle was in better shape. I fear she may be disappointed when she arrives. This will be interesting. She could tell us much about our dwarven neighbors. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea. I shall take this as an indication that perhaps things are starting to look up for the Circle. Thank you. I wish you well. Know you will always be welcome here.
Wynne?
Yes, Alistair?
My shirt has a hole in it.
I see. And?
Can you mend it when we get back to camp?
Can't you mend your own clothes? Why do I have to do it?
Sometimes I pick up too much fabric and it ends up all puckered and the entire garment hangs wrong afterwards. And you're, you know, grandmotherly. Grandmothers do that sort of thing, don't they? Darning socks and whatnot. You don't want me to have to fight Darkspawn in a shirt with a hole, do you? It might get bigger. I might catch cold.
Oh, all right. I'll mend your shirt the next time we set up camp.
Oh, and while you're at it, the elbows kind of need patching too.
Careful, young man. Well, puckered garments may be the least of your problems.
Turn and run! It will be done. Of course.
Orzammar has heard your call. We march for you, Warden. Orzammar has heard your call. We march for you, Warden. Orzammar has heard your call. We march for you, Warden.
Yes.
Have you given thought to perhaps prolonging your life by forcing another spirit into your service?
Of course not.
I would. Of course, I am still young, beautiful, and my life is my own, while you are bound to that circle. I wonder why I asked. It would be a silly thing, prolonging your life. A waste.
Think what you will, Morrigan. When the end comes, I will go gladly to my rest, proud of my achievements. While you will see how empty your life was. You will realize that because you never had love for others, you never received love in return. And you will die alone and unmourned.
You speak of meaningless things. I need no one to mourn me, old woman.
More's the pity.
It's hard to believe we have a king again.
I suppose the ancestors truly favor the Aidukans.
Hello, how can I... It's you! And it's been, well, quite a while. Enough time to get to the circle and back, I hope. Oh, please tell me what they said. Ancestors, bless you! I can't believe it! There hasn't even been a dwarven observer in the circle since Urelden in the 13th century! I need to pack. No, my parents would get suspicious. I need to go. Is there anything I should bring? Books? Tuition? Then I should go before my parents come looking for me. If you ever go to the circle again, maybe I'll see you there.
You again. Here to buy something, or were you just thinking of wrecking another part of my shop? What? Do you even know what you've done? She's castless now. She can never marry, never work, and never be a part of this family again.
Why the fuss? I am sure the Circle Tower is full of parental figures just waiting to tell her what is best.
My daughter is dead to me now. Leave my store. You're not welcome here.
Very well.
Maker's blessing on you, brother. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. There is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. But Orzammar persists in worshipping its paragons and forefathers instead of the Maker.
Let them worship whatever they like. The Kun is the only way to enlightenment. Perhaps. Each must find his own way to the truth.
Are you saying you will help? The Shaperate controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. Even with our new king on the throne, I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting. Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always.
If this chantry could help just one person as much as it helped me, it's worth any trouble.
Please, let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
You were in the Chantry. You are a priest?
No, I was a lay sister of the chantry.
Which means...
I lived and worked in the chantry, but I did not take any vows.
So you dabbled in priesthood then?
Oh no, the lay sisters don't have the same sorts of duties as priests at all.
So you were not a priest, did none of their duties, and took no vows, but you lived among them?
Yes.
You were a house guest of the Chantry?
Sort of.
News of the hour. Lord Harrimont arrested. Thrown into prison awaiting execution. Epic fail.
Most impressive, Warden. King Balin's ascent to his father's throne has been recorded in the memories. Is there something more I can help you with? That is an odd request, especially for one so new to our city. I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition? He seems a charitable man, but that is a thin thread on which to tie Orzammar's traditions. Very well, he may hold a prayer meeting as he requested, if not build a new temple to his god. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more? I will record this conversation in the memories. I hope I do not come to regret it.
Of course.
News of the hour. Balin is king. Future of Orzammar secure.
So have you heard? Morrigan and him are, you know.
Have you nothing better to do than spread idle gossip? And besides, he can probably hear us both. You're not being very discreet.
No, look, he's not even paying attention.
Maybe. You don't think that he's serious about it, do you? The woman is a vile fiend.
Well, look here. Now who's an idle gossip? Meow.
You're the one who started this, I might remind you. And I'm ending it.
Andraste teaches that patience is the child of wisdom, but I'm eager to hear if you've seen the Shaper. Oh, praise the Maker! You truly walk in the light, friend. I already found a convert among the merchants who offered his shop as a temporary chantry. It's just by the tapsters. Please, come to our first service.
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform. Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity. Especially for someone with a few connections above ground. Human kings, you know, they make these ridiculous laws. Like about who gets to buy and sell lyrium, the sacred gift the stone provides us to show her love. No law should regulate that. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower. I got one man named Godwin. He's expecting a delivery of a stone's weight. You want an investment opportunity? I could see fit to, say, sell you that lyrium instead, at the reasonable price of 50 sovereigns. You can keep it, or, since you can travel freely from here, sell it to Godwin, who you know is buying. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee. More so for someone like you, I guess. Most dwarves born down here have a natural immunity. Other races, there are problems if they spend too long with the ore. The real issue is that lyrium's valuable. It's only found down here, and human mages can't work without it. You haggle like a merchant born. Deal. Here's the lyrium, then. You, probably don't want to take it out of the box. I'll be waiting for the next order somewhere out of sight. Say, just around the corner. Well, if it isn't my new best friend. You make it to the tower yet? Mage named Godwin. He's one of the lesser enchanters, runs some kind of experiments in the lower tower levels. But if you're dumb enough to buy yourself a box of lyrium and forget to sell it, no dust off my back. Pleasure working with you.
It is sometimes so hard to believe that you have been through so much at such a young age.
I think I look younger than I am.
Yes, yes, that is possible. When I was your age, I was just about ready to take on my first apprentice. In hindsight, perhaps I should have waited a few more years. I was arrogant, my confidence bolstered by my youth.
It is so hard to imagine seeing you now.
Oh, I've had some 2 decades or so to grow mellow. Believe me, back then I was quite prickly.
So you are like a fine wine, yes? Losing the raw edges over time.
I suppose there is some truth to that analogy, but dear Maker, I do hate being compared to wine. Or cheese. Especially cheese.
Ow!
What? Stop fussing with it. You'll make it worse.
It itches.
Yes, it's healing. Don't touch it.
But it's distracting. Can I rub it through the bandage? That's not really scratching.
Alistair, if you open that wound up, I'm not going to heal it again. You can just treat it yourself. And if it festers, weeping bloody pus, and burns like the flames of Andraste's pyre, don't come to me. All I'm going to say is, Alistair, didn't I tell you not to touch it?
It won't really fester, will it?
Why don't you try scratching and see?
I guess it doesn't itch so much now.
Of course.
What was that soup you made for supper last night?
Oh, that's a traditional Ferelden lamb and pea stew. Do you like it?
Oh, so it was lamb then. It had a certain texture I don't normally associate with lamb.
They didn't make lamb and pea stew for you in Lothering?
We ate simply there. Whole grains made into biscuits or bread, and vegetables from the garden, cooked lightly. No heavy stews.
Ah, so the last lamb you had was probably cooked Orlesian style. Food shouldn't be frilly and pretentious like that. Now, here in Ferelden, we do things right. We take our ingredients, throw them in the largest pot we can find, and cook them for as long as possible until everything is a uniform grey color. As soon as it looks completely bland and unappetizing, that's when I know it's done.
You're having me on.
Ha! You need to eat in more Ferelden inns.
This circle is amazing. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Oh, it's you! You saved the circle. I'd kiss your feet if you didn't look as though you'd kill me if I did that. You'll settle for a handshake, won't you? Maybe a kiss on the forehead, eh? Suppose we feel the same way then. Might not seem like much coming from me, but I appreciate what you've done for us. Ah, hello again. Would you like me to tell you again how wonderful you are? Or maybe you'd just like to talk a little? Rogek? Well, he's a personal friend, and sometimes we, correspond. Did he, have anything for me? Yes, yes, I'll take it off your hands right now. What about 50 sovereigns? That's a good price, no? Look, I have 65 sovereigns and this dagger I stumbled upon in the tower. Will that do? Done and done. You have your gold, and I have my lyrium. Everyone's happy. Out of curiosity, do you know why this lyrium took so long to get here? Dwarves and their politics. Always causing trouble. How is the situation now? Ah, I see. Well, I just wanted to know if I should expect another late delivery. Well, mages need lyrium for spells and things. Nothing you'd know about. I suppose you did at that. Well, yes, but you see, the Templars use lyrium too. They cannot manipulate natural energies like mages can, but they need to be able to fight us. The big problem with lyrium is that it has diminishing returns, and the Templars become dependent on it.
You're taking advantage of the Templars, encouraging them. And for money, you despicable, profiteering crook!
If it wasn't me and Rogek, someone else would do it. They go sort of funny. In the head, I mean. They see things that aren't there, or have trouble holding on to a thought. It's not all of them, though. Some are worse than others. One of the fellows here has it pretty bad. Carol, I think. Hardly. I get by. You're blackmailing me? Fine, take this. It's all I have on me at the moment. Now just leave me alone, please. This just isn't my day. Hello again. Would you like... Or maybe you'd just like to talk a little? Might not seem like much coming from me, but I appreciate what you've done for us.
It must be a wonderful thing to be able to weave spells.
Wonderful? To you, perhaps. Most do not feel the same way.
Oh, what do they know? They're just jealous. The Maker gives you magic. You must use it. You do it so effortlessly. It's like breathing for you. I wish I had such talent.
But you do. You have your music, your dances. You are more graceful than anyone I've ever met. I think that perhaps the Maker gives us all magic, but of different sorts.
Even Ogren?
Ogren is a dwarf. He doesn't really come from the Maker.
Oh yes, that explains it.
My men have scouted the tower. It's a mess, but the abominations are gone. You are very thorough. I'm impressed. Where did you hear about this? I was not aware. Godwin. Yes, I know of Godwin. He intended to sell this lyrium to the Templars. Lyrium is dangerous. The Templars are only to use it at the command of the Chantry. I will seek out this Godwin and learn more about this. Well, I could hardly get a straight answer out of that man, what with all his begging and sniveling. But he has told me all about his lyrium smuggling racket. I must have been blind to not have noticed it. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. My gratitude, and the satisfaction of knowing you have again helped the Templars. That is all I can offer. I will definitely investigate this lyrium smuggling racket further. I will question my men as soon as I can spare the time. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Of course.
You know, I've heard about the Orlesian bards.
Who hasn't? They are quite famous after all.
The stories I heard were a little racier. It had to do with how a bard assassinated her target, how they were lulled into complacency.
If those stories were true, who would ever agree to entertain a bard in their court?
Oh, I don't know. There's a certain allure to danger, isn't there? And besides, you couldn't all be assassins, could you? I'd take my chances. If the stories were true, that is.
We had rules about that sort of thing. Strict rules.
Such as? You're not gonna tell me, are you?
Let's just say I had plenty of reasons to join the Chantry, shall we? And leave it at that.
Well, if it isn't my new best friend. You make it to the tower yet? Excellent. I must say I wasn't sure I'd see you back here. Now, that was 10 sovereigns we agreed to, right? That seems pretty steep. I can't believe I'd offer that much. But I do appreciate what you did. I'm gonna give you 25, and let's call it even. I'm holding off on any new shipments until this surface war is done.
What do you want, Warden? You're out of your element down here. I'm no fool. Nobody just wanders around in Dusttown. You're here looking for me, and I don't like it. You've walked into a sodding fight, Warden, and I've already passed your stupid tome along. Too bad for you.
What do you think of that new King Balin, huh?
Just like any other noble. Wouldn't take the time to spit on the likes of us.
His woman's castless, though, or was. That Rika, remember her?
Where shall I head?
Murat's favorite from way back. And word on the street is he's got no qualms about recruiting brands for his troops. During the Blight, he's going to use whatever Orzammar's got. I could get behind that.
Did you hear something about a new king?
King or no king, nothing ever changes in Dust Town.
Do you think the new king will throw some coins for good luck?
So what do you think will happen to all those people we left behind in Lothering?
Some of them will find their way to Denerim. Many will die, as the Maker wills.
Don't you wish you could have stayed there? To help more people, I mean.
If the Blight isn't stopped, everyone will die. This is the greater good we're serving, both of us, right here.
So it's all right to let some people die for the greater good? I'm not so sure about that. I felt bad leaving all those people there, all panicked and helpless.
You're doing what you must, Alistair. There will be worse to come yet. You will need to steel yourself. You know this.
I've never been very good at that. The steeling myself part. I find it better sometimes to just be a little weak. I'm all right with that, really.
I don't believe you. And either way, it's not as if any of us has a choice.
More foes!
The Warden has joined with Balin. We can't allow it!
Clumsy! As you say. You smell great! Is that vest you're wearing? It really suits you.
A new king! We should hold a proving to celebrate!
This is so exciting.
Do you accept students?
I just received word from the palace. Revelka is forbidden to see me, and I'm summoned for a private audience. I'm dead.
I knew Balin would take the crown.
We have nothing to talk about, Warden. I haven't done a thing.
Enemies ahead!
We have nothing to talk about, Warden. I haven't done a thing.
I'm gonna take first in the inaugural glory proving.
When my arm heals, you watch out, Duster.
The ancestors have spoken. Balin is king.
The Jotun fights like he's in the Legion of the Dead. You should see his eyes. Mad eyes.
Aramont must be cursing himself to have lost such a champion. Aramont must be cursing himself to have lost such a champion.
As you say.
You fought for the wrong side.
But it's good you came to your senses, eventually.
Been sick for days. You should have seen me last week.
The throne belongs to the Idukans.
Why not?
Pardon?
Oh, I'd give you a roll. Why not?
A roll?
Aye, anytime. Preferably in the dark.
I suppose I should be flattered.
I'm not sure I have the equipment for that, but sure, whatever gets you working. You found it. Warden, you have my gratitude. You're a bright spot in an otherwise dark time.
Of course.
Wonder why they decided to build a city around streams of lava. It's an accident waiting to happen.
What do you think of that new King Balin, huh?
Just like any other noble.
I
Wouldn't
heard
take
there
the
was a
time to
new
spit on the
king,
likes of us.
and
His
Lyrium
woman's
shines
cast
out his ass.
Or was. That Rita, remember her? Barat's favorite from
We say Barat's
Word
ghost
on the
rose
street,
up to kill
he's got no
Jarvia.
qualms about recruiting Brandon for his troops.
So you're the one who killed Jarvia. Do you know what you've done? Jarvia was no paragon, but she looked after her own. Even the nobles wouldn't cross her. If you think we're gonna let you waltz around like you own the place, you're wrong. For Jarvia, attack!
We will need to fight shortly.
Have you a coin to spare, my lord? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I. A question I ask every day. He was eager enough for a daughter who would bring him into the mining caste. But since the boy was born, I've not seen nose or heel of the lout. And me alone on the street, forbidden to return to my family unless I... But no! I can't bear to even think of it! My son's father is casteless, as is he. I used to be a miner, but my parents stripped my caste and refused to accept me back. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him. In Orzammar, lineage is traced through the child's same-sex parent. Had my baby been a girl, she would have been a minor like me. But as a boy, my son is considered tainted forever by his father's seed. Yes, I can become casteless with him, which is what I've done. Others have raised children like this, right? Begging for change, sleeping in doorways? You would do that? But why? Then I cannot offer enough gratitude. But I warn you, my father is a stiff-necked man. His name is Ordell, and he's usually at tapsters in the evening. I do not think he will listen to you. But I will wait anxiously to see if you can do what you promise.
What are you looking at, stranger? Oh, I'm the monster, not the castless wretch that filled my daughter with his brat. I've got a family and a reputation to protect. I'm not letting one stupid girl drag us all down. What? You think she'd die just to keep that thing? She knows what she has to do to come home. I never wanted her gone. Just the little cur. Can't she see she'd have a better life if she got rid of it? Look, just tell her... We never meant to hurt her. It just seemed best that... Oh, just tell her to come home. Her mother and I are waiting for her.
Very well.
Got something in my... sod it.
What are you? Never mind, I don't want to know.
Yeah, that's right. Keep your nose up. You know, just because we don't all live in some tower in the clouds doesn't mean we're worthless.
I didn't.
And furthermore, I don't think I appreciate the way you looked at me last night.
The way I... what?
Oh, you remember. Those longing eyes, hungry for a bit of a tussle.
I never looked at you, dwarf. Definitely not in that way.
Oh, you're right. Must have been the dog.
Horse feathers.
Yes.
You're back. I thought you weren't coming. What did he say? Both of us? I don't believe he said that. I've never heard him refer to my son as anything but trash. He calls him it. But maybe Mother convinced him. Or you did. Oh, my friend. I cannot thank you enough. If this were a story, my son would grow to manhood and pledge himself as a knight in your service. When he grows up, I will send him to you. I promise.
Come on. Who ate the cabbage?
Why ask me?
I guess you thought we could all share in the bounty. Oh, stand up to it, you giant ass. You birthed a cloud to be proud of. I hope you've thought of a name.
Of course. Let us end this quickly!
I think we work well together.
Dwarf.
What?
Stop tripping me.
Stop tripping yourself.
If you were significant enough to notice, I wouldn't step on you.
Oh, well, your mother.
That was disappointing. I expected better from you.
Yeah, sorry, I was in a rush. Why are you heading back to the city? We won't sodding find Branka going that way.
I haven't seen a darkspawn close to the line for 3 days now. The Legion is doing its job.
News of the hour. Lord Balin victorious. Lord Harrowmont arrested and ridiculed in the streets.
What? You're drunk, aren't you?
Hey, was that a question? Didn't sound like a question.
How in the Maker's name do you manage to be constantly drunk? Are we even carrying that much alcohol with us?
Jealous, huh?
A little, yes. Why can't I be drunk all the time? I never get to be drunk.
You know, if you drank more wine, you'd whine much less.